welcome to another episode of Table for One. Our guest today is Rachel London. For those who don't know, she is a matchmaker with Cinqe.
Yep,
correct?
that's right.
Yeah, and so thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure.
I'm sure a lot of our viewers could use a matchmaker, so we're going to get some information here and maybe some insight. But I guess I just wanted to know kind of like how you got into matchmaking.
Sure. So I got into matchmaking. Actually, I was set up on a date with another matchmaker's client. I had never heard of matchmaking before, and I thought, I mean, on one hand, it's incredible, and on the other hand, this is a hot mess. And I really kind of felt like there was, let's say, room for improvement. So naturally, being an entrepreneur, I was like, how can I do this better? So that kind of set me off on my own journey. I had a background in personal development where I'd been doing a lot of personal development work for about a decade on myself. I'm kind of obsessive with that. Started my own personal development coaching company. And then I worked with a guy named Neil Strauss. If you've heard of Neil Strauss, he wrote a book called The Game. He's a 10-time New York Times bestselling author. He brought me in to coach his men's groups as well. So that's kind of how I started getting into it. And
I have a fourth grade reading level, so I don't really,
we haven't been reading. I think you could handle The Game. I mean, you might like it, actually. You might like it.
Okay, so you had a bad matchmaking experience and thought you could do it better. And
I could do it better.
And you have been doing it better.
And I crush it.
Okay, you do? Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you work with, so like what kind of personas do you work with? And it seems like everybody around the world, I guess?
Yep. So we are a global agency. We have one of the largest networks in the world, one of the largest databases, and the broadest reach. So it's pretty incredible. Anywhere from Australia to Dubai to Canada. I worked with people in Costa Rica, Italy, really all over the world. We have a strong base in the US as well. But yeah, I work with everyone from, we have a few different ways that you can work with us. So it's you might come into our free database, and that's fine. You could be considered for one of our clients. So a lot of people do that. You could hire us for coaching. You could hire us for premium matchmaking. So the people that we work with in that regard tend to be, maybe like entrepreneurs, company founders.
So high profile.
Pretty high profile. I do work with quite a few celebrities, billionaires, multi-billionaires, a lot of influencers, that kind of stuff.
You're going to get Elon Musk as 16th wife? Is that?
We may or may not have spoken.
Okay. Does that guy need any more
no
kids?
comments.
I don't know. He's got like 14
I told you
kids.
I might plead the fifth on some of these.
Okay.
But
Anybody that stands out, maybe other than who we just talked, or like somebody that's super nice that, or if you can say, I know you probably
I can't.
Okay,
I can't.
yeah.
So one of the reasons that people come to us is for discretion.
Right.
It's not because they have anything to hide, but I'm sure you can probably relate. There are things that you want kept in your private life. Like once you're a public person, you want to be able to keep some things just for yourself, including your love life.
Yeah.
And well, maybe not for you. That's a bad example.
Yeah. No, it's out the window for me at this point. I don't think there's much people don't know about me, but I am who I am,
Yeah.
What is the reason, I guess? Because maybe an outsider looking in, why would a high profile person need a matchmaker? I think that's probably a question some might have, but like, what is the reason? They just don't have enough time on their hands, or they're looking for somebody else kind of around the similar profile? Or?
Yeah. So I think the more successful people are, they recognize that they want to outsource to the experts in pretty much every area of life. So if you think about, you hire a personal trainer, you have someone who does your tax strategy or your finances or different things like that. So they want efficiency. They value their time. That's the most valuable thing that they have. So if they can outsource to us, then that saves them money essentially.
Okay.
And they like discretion and privacy, like we talked about too. They need a little bit of insulation, and sometimes they have too many options, which is a big problem.
Yeah.
So I love that you're having me on today and we get to talk about this, because I think a lot of people have the misconception that matchmaking is not cool, or you only use a matchmaker if you can't get a date. And it's like, that's actually not true at all. Our clients are very, very sought after, and just incredible. I think I have kind of keys to the kingdom as far as some of the best bachelors and bachelorettes in the world.
Yeah.
The most elite singles. So it's really top quality people, and they need some insulation, and they need someone to pre-vet for them.
Yeah, they're out making $1 billion. They probably don't want to go through 1,000 DMs.
I mean, they're not like swipe. Like, let me just lay in bed and do that.
Elon on Tinder.
I mean, You never know. You never
So
know.
what does the vetting process look like when someone comes to you? Like, are they telling you, I want someone with this, this, and this qualities? Or, yeah, and then you just
Yeah.
take that and run with it?
Yep. So we have a process that we walk people through depending on their goals and the level of engagement. And then we kind of try to figure out some of the basics, but also the things that they value the most. So everyone has different things that they value more than other things. And then we're going to focus on that and matching them with people that align well in that regard.
Okay.
What expectations, like wild expectations, have you heard that you're just kind of like put off by?
Um, so I feel like this is one of the things people might not think about in matchmaking. The things that we hear confidentially are wild.
Yeah.
Like it is a wild journey. We always say it's never a dull moment because of how honest people are with us too. So people will come to us and they'll say, I want this, this, and this. One of the things that I really see being very skewed is people's understanding, and this sounds not very nice, but I find it quite a bit. People may not understand their own market value when they come to us. I get it because people are coming to us and saying, this is my ideal. If I'm going to pay you to search for this person, I want the best of the best. And I can absolutely understand that. And that's why people do come to us. But sometimes not understanding your market value. So for example, women will come to us and they'll say, well, I have this much money. I want a man who has this much money. Not understanding that most men don't value, when they're looking for a partner, they're looking for very different qualities. They're not looking for a competitor. They're not looking for someone who's wealthy. They want someone who's soft and feminine and they can trust, and they're going to be able to be a nice complement to their life versus kind of a competitor. So a lot of women don't understand that, and they'll say, I think I should only date someone who makes $1 million or more a year. And I will, I talk to men every day and I hear about what they want. And sometimes the women that come to me don't necessarily embody those qualities. So we have to have kind of tough conversations and set expectations appropriately. And then for men, a lot of times, I feel like it's a little bit sad because it does boil down to a lot of times looks and money.
Well.
Dang it, man.
Yeah.
And I try to work with people so that we don't just focus on those things, because one of the issues in modern dating is that it's become so transactional, and people are they're holding themselves back from finding love and actually being loved too. So we have these ideals of perfection that no one can live up to on either side. And in the meantime, everyone's just kind of running wild and exhausted and loses hope and that kind of stuff. So
it's definitely exhausting. I'm sure at that level even more so, possibly.
Yeah.
So like a guy, a guy doesn't want to date his coworker, right? Or have somebody in, competition, or makes it feel like you come home and
we don't want any
somebody,
meet. Oh, I was going to say in the office, we don't want any Me Too moments.
Yeah, that too. But like, how hard is it for a woman then if she wants somebody that maybe makes more or, is a similar status? I mean, do women is it harder for them in this aspect to where they have to date somebody that's lower profile? Or, I mean, they want somebody like more masculine, but they end up getting more of a feminine
What I tell people is to be open, because I think that we've tried to over intellectualize this process so much that we don't leave room for love to actually build. Yeah. So people will write people off for the tiniest things rather than leaning in and saying, okay, I recognize that this is not really a defining trait. There are the things that you must have, and then there are the things that you would like to have. And some love means acceptance as well. Mm-hmm. There's no perfect person. We're not perfect individuals. So you really have to lean into acceptance and understand, going back to Isaac's question, like what you really, really value, focusing on those things, and then giving people more of a chance and being open. So instead of having this perfect checklist of another human being, love doesn't really work that way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could try though.
You can try. People do. I mean, and people come to us, and we have to have a place to start. You have to have a place to start so that there's some context, because we're looking at a global network of people. So we have to be able to refine. But
what's the most common need or want that a man will ask to matchmake you?
Okay, so a need or want that I mean, I feel like men want a woman who I hear a lot like flexibility. They want someone who's going to be able to be flexible, maybe be able to travel, maybe be able to relocate, someone who will bring them peace, someone who has their own thing going. They don't need them to make a lot of money or be super successful, but that they're passionate about something in their own life. That's usually very attractive. Also, positivity. So someone who is confident, secure, positive. I mean, on both sides of the aisle, confidence is one of the most attractive qualities, and I hear that all the time. Also, I don't think women realize how far positivity can go.
Yeah.
So when you smile a lot, when you are, you have positive reframes instead of kind of being a nag. So I can share an example of a client of mine who's a multi-billionaire developer. And he was dating this woman, and he took her to a nice resort. And this woman, they checked into the room, and it's this beautiful place, and he's trying to do something really nice for her. Instead of her saying, babe, this is amazing. Thank you so much. This is so beautiful. Maybe no one's ever done this for me before. Just being present and being grateful and being happy and positive, optimistic, all the things, that goes a really long way. I think for men, regardless of where they are socioeconomically, they want to feel appreciated. They want to feel valued. They want to feel like the hero. They're the hero of the story. And so this client was telling me that instead, this woman who is incredibly beautiful, walked in with this energy of entitlement and was like, oh, this one only has 2 bedrooms. And the last time I stayed here, I was in the 3-bedroom suite in the penthouse or something.
God, I would go crazy.
So so immediately this guy's like, well, she's out.
Yeah.
So entitlement is one of the biggest killers that I see. I see men willing to literally do anything for a woman when they have that positive, grateful, receptive attitude. I think that's one of a really attractive quality as well, being receptive as a woman, instead of this energy or attitude of, I got it, I don't need him to do this, kind of that harder, more guarded energy.
Yeah. And I talked to you a little bit about this before, but you also, you're kind of like a dating coach as well.
Yeah.
So if you go on, or do they tell you about their dates and how they went and everything like that?
I hear everything.
Okay. So
I know all the secrets, things I don't want to know. I hear it all.
Yeah. If that comes up, what do you say? Do you say like, hey, I think you could have approached this differently?
Yeah.
Could have went like this. I mean, these are the talks you're having with them. So how does that coaching go?
So this is a great question, because I think one of the things people don't recognize about matchmaking is how invaluable the feedback part of it is. So imagine you're out dating in the wild and someone just says, hey, you seem like a great person. I wasn't totally feeling the spark, but have a nice life. Like, wish you the best. Yeah. And then you don't really know what happened. And so one of the huge value points about working with us is people will tell us everything. We know all the little details as to what led to them not feeling that quote unquote spark. So maybe you said something weird. Maybe you did something funny. Maybe you had stuff in your teeth. Maybe we hear stuff about teeth a lot. You have nice teeth. You're good.
Okay.
But it amazes me how many people are like, especially men. So any men that are watching this, like, please go get a teeth cleaning.
Oh yeah.
Maybe get your teeth whitened. Because a woman wants to, if you want her to kiss you, it's a very intimate area.
Yeah.
Like, you have to represent yourself well there. Women notice the details. So that's also interesting. Men and women have different perceptions. So it's like men have a like the awareness is just a little bit different. So when they say, like, a woman will see every speckle of dust, or they'll notice all those little things. If you have something in your teeth, a man will be like, what dust? Literally doesn't see it, because our brains are wired a little differently.
Yeah, no, I think I was out with a woman one time, and she had stuff in her teeth. And
what kind of person are you? Are you the kind of person that tells her, or do you just let her?
I think I still kissed her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you did still kiss her, did you?
I think I did.
But you didn't tell her?
No, I don't know. I think she needed a teeth cleaning.
Okay, Okay, so you
girl
weren't
sounds
sure
like
if
a
she had
sweetheart.
something in her teeth and you were just trying to spare her feelings, but you were like, and also I'm going to make her feel better by kissing her so she doesn't feel bad about her nasty teeth.
I don't think she could go to the dentist that fast, you know, in time to come back and start making out. But
Okay, so this is kind of my point. A woman would not do that. A woman would be like,
Yeah.
I'm not kissing him because he has stuff in his teeth. A guy's like, I don't know.
I mean,
It might just be Joe. He has no standards.
inhibitions were down. I think there were some drinks involved, and I was like, I mean, I don't know. My judgment.
What did it
is-
taste like?
Stop.
All right. I think
okay.
this is a good stop.
Yeah,
Thank you,
we're
Isaac. Thank you.
Oh my God. Yeah, let's move on. My bad. That
Okay.
one was on me.
Moving
Okay,
on.
I asked about the men, like their number one thing, and,
Yeah.
and you said, you know, entitlement, maybe peacefulness, and you know, just being in good
Positivity.
spirits. Yeah. You know, for women, what is their number one thing?
Women want a man who knows how to lead. Women are desperately craving this. So that's every single woman I talk to. I want a man who knows how to lead. He knows, and that doesn't have to mean that he has money necessarily. This is a man who knows how to handle himself, knows how to book plans, who knows how to say, we're going here at this time, and a woman can turn her brain off.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we want to essentially find a man that we can trust to lead us and we feel good following so that we can surrender and then be in our feminine essence more.
Do you feel like there's a switch? And I'm not trying to get myself in trouble here, but like before it was like very, very strong woman, you know, we can do it ourselves. But like, I feel like sometimes that goes against the grain of dating and like a relationship as well. Do you feel like there is kind of a switch now, or?
I think that you have to look at kind of our primal instincts. So women were not typically the ones who were out hunting and, you know, killing things or protecting the villages and that kind of stuff. And I think it's deeply encoded into our DNA. And I think that, I mean, I have pretty strong opinions about it. Like, you know, there's a difference between feminism and then sort of the new wave or second wave of feminism, where it is this, you know, be independent, don't need a man, all of those things. And I think that that's one of probably the leading issues in modern dating and why things have become so skewed. So,
Okay. And yeah, I mean, any more, I mean, I've seen it a little bit online, but I think there was a time there where people would get on and that's like very celebrated, you know, being in your masculine if you're a woman and you can do
The
it
boss
all.
babe
But, yeah,
vibe.
boss babe vibe. And, you know, ultimately I just didn't, I don't know, you know, but it just didn't seem like a lot of happiness there, though. You know,
Yeah.
if you were in your masculine and boss
Yep.
babe, I mean, you know, people still need relationships and
Yeah.
it kind of goes both ways and people
think-
have certain gender roles, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do too. I think there are kind of natural roles, but I think you can do both. So you can still be a very feminine woman. I think you just have to be really mindful. So if you're at work and you're in a certain energy, what are the things that you do so that when you're with your partner, you're not in that, you don't just carry that right over that same energy into your relationships. What can you do? Are you meditating? Are you dancing? Are you working out? Are you praying? Are you like cooking? One of my colleagues says from going from work into kind of making that transition into her home life at the end of the day, she loves cooking a meal and it just helps her soften back into being the nurturer instead of the boss babe.
Yeah.
I think you can do both. I think you
Yeah.
can do both, but
Yeah.
you have to be really mindful. And I think a lot of times now women will use that sort of boss babe archetype to, and that guardedness to continue to perpetuate limiting beliefs about men. A lot of times maybe they're man haters a little bit.
Yeah, I've dated
then-
a couple of those.
Yeah. I mean, I see a lot of those. I'll have women come to me and I'm like, I'm not going to work with a woman who's a man hater.
Yeah.
I'm not, because I mean, if they will recognize it, the first step is awareness and admitting that you have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you get more female or male clients?
So I would say it depends. So on the coaching front, I work more with women. And then on the matchmaking side, I work with both, but I would say it's like a 70-30 kind of a split. So mostly men.
Men. Okay.
Interesting.
What are the like characteristics of a good dater? Like somebody that has it, you don't have to coach a lot. And it could be that leadership, but I'm talking about more like, is it the charisma? Is it the personality? Like, how could somebody listen to you right now and be like, okay, I need to work on these things?
I would say it's presence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't text the whole time when you're on a date.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Actually, so we send out our sort of rules or strong suggestions. So you get, I mean, we have like a whole huge booklet that we send out to clients of everything that we've learned over the past decades of doing this, all the do's and don'ts. So that's kind of invaluable, a little perk of working with us. But yeah, we definitely tell people, you know, these are some of the things you should or should not do on a date. And
what's the most number one broken rule, I guess, in matchmaking where people continuously fumble it or hit that roadblock?
So first date's talking about your ex.
Oh yeah,
and going a little too deep into that. So so this lends itself to what I said, which is presence.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something very palpable about being able to just look into another human being's eyes and be there and allow yourself to be seen and really be curious about them. When you start talking about your ex, you're thinking about your past. It's conjuring different images. Maybe you're speaking negatively. You don't know how you're coming across. So it might be like, oh yeah, my ex was crazy. I mean, that's such a red flag for people because it's like, well, you picked that person and okay, yes, maybe you left after you realized, but if you don't talk about it in the more positive sense of what you learned and what you gained from the relationship, then it's going to come across as, you know, it's not going to come across looking good on you. So again, that goes back to being positive. So you want to be present, you want to be positive, you don't want to go too deep into your past. You can always do a quick reframe and just say, you know, I'm happy to talk more about that. Like, let's call that our third date or something.
Yeah.
You know, we can talk more about that on our third date. And what that does is it shifts things so that someone's like, oh, they like me. Oh, they want to see me again. There's going to be a third date. So now instead of leaning into that, I mean, if that's the case, you know, you don't have to say it that way if you don't want to. But now we took something that could have gone like way off the deep end. You could have crashed and burned because all of a sudden it's like, whoa, this was too much. Now it's like, there's like almost a flirtatious energy. There's a fun, oh, they want to see me again. And you turn it back onto them because you're there to get to know that person.
Yeah. Man, you should have a PDF for this. I don't know.
We do.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh my God.
Cinqe.com.
Yeah, Cinqe.com. There we go.
So you have to be like kind of a salesman. So you have clients come to you looking for XYZ. How do you like find these prospects and what's the screening process like?
Yeah. So I call myself a hype man. And it's really fun because we work with people that we really like and we really believe in. And so it's really easy to sell a product that you believe in. And so we'll put together profiles for people and I get to have conversations, whether it's a phone call or maybe a video call, and get to know the other person. Like I said, we'll ask about the things that they value the most. So let's say the stage of life, someone who either wants to have children, doesn't want to have children, what their time frame is for that. Do they want marriage? Do they want monogamy? Do they, you know, use psychedelics? Do they go to church every Sunday? Like there's a wide variety of things that people are interested in. So as we get to know our clients more and more, and we have pretty intimate relationships with them, then we get to know what they value. We know what questions to ask. So we'll pre-vet that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then do you find like prospects through social media or are they sending you, you know, potential people?
Yeah. Yeah. So we kind of have a no stone left unturned policy where we don't really care where we find the person as long as we do. Okay. So we do have one of the largest databases in the world for matchmaking. We have one of the largest reaches. All of the women in our company are thought leaders in the industry. We all were we had our own companies before and we came together to form this super agency. So we're pretty powerful as far as our reach. We have people coming to us all the time. We're all kind of doing TV shows, a lot of press, a lot of social media stuff. So we might find somebody on Instagram. Someone might be a friend of an old client who told them about us. And was like, hey, I met my husband here, or a friend of a friend met their wife through them. So, you know, you should fill out a profile.
Oh, wow. That's
just go to the site too if they wanted to fill out.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to be in my database, they can go to cinque.com/Rachel. So that's cinque.com/RACHEL. And then you can just say what you're applying for. So if you want to be in the free database, if you're looking for coaching, or if you want to be considered as a matchmaking client, you can apply for that as well.
Nice. Do you ever judge somebody on their taste in partners?
Yes.
Secretly?
No, people are always like, you're not judgmental at all. And I'm so glad that that comes across, because truly I want to see people win. But I can see, I think part of our job is pattern recognition. And so we'll see when people are making unhealthy choices. So I wouldn't say that I judge them for that, but if someone is open, I'm going to want to bring that to their attention. And just like we were talking about with market value and having somewhat of an expectation talk, that sounds like I'm like, but it's not like that. I want to see people win. I want to see them be successful. And I think we can take things, we can have a theoretical perspective on things. I should have this. I deserve this. I want this, but that's not actually going to translate into something that's going to be healthy or successful. So then we have to kind of figure out what's going on there, and how open someone is to that feedback or that coaching is gonna play a big part. And so people, when they ask what our success rates are, I'll say 100% if you listen to us.
Okay.
But how many people are willing to actually take advice and take a hard look in the mirror sometimes when it's necessary?
Yeah, people don't want to hear that.
I know. I'm not selling myself very well right now. It's
I deserve this. Like that's what I'm sure people have that mindset, right?
And look, we are the best at what we do. And I've had clients that have worked with other agencies and they say the same thing. I've worked with other agencies and you guys are truly the best. So when you go to the experts and you hire them, you have to kind of relinquish a little bit of control and say, hey, I'm going to trust them. They're investing in me. I'm investing in them. Let's try to do something a little differently and get the result we're actually looking for.
What is like the number one thing clients don't want to hear you say? Like, is it no, you got to check them a little bit, bring them back to reality? Is that ever happen?
There are clients that we won't take.
Okay.
So we are in a position where we get to be relatively selective. And that's a blessing, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot, like they are hiring us to find the person that they want. And we will do that 100%. That's another 100% success. We will find the person that you're looking for or the types of people and introduce you to those people. What you do after that, we cannot control. So if you show up and you're doing weird stuff or you have weird teeth or like, we will tell you if you're open to the feedback, but we can't make those changes for you. And we can't predict chemistry either. So chemistry and wanting to feel that spark. And when are you supposed to feel the spark? Those are questions that come up a lot too.
Okay. Here, I'm going to put a pause real quick. Do you want to do a segment brought to you by our sponsor?
Sure.
Okay.
What is that?
Yeah, it's a segment. We're about to do a fun segment, guys. All right. This segment is called Matchmaker Lie Detector.
Ooh.
You know.
Am I getting a lie detector?
No, you're not getting a lie detector. These are just common tropes or, some what people maybe think out and about. Just let us know if it's a lie. You have a little bit more insight.
I like it.
I mean, long distance relationships never work. Is that true or false?
Not true.
Not true. Okay.
Yeah.
So they can work.
Absolutely.
That probably happens all the time.
All the time. I think if people are willing to put in effort, there's something beautiful about choosing them. Like having to overcome something together can bring you together. Okay. So, yeah.
Well, that's okay. We checked it off. There we go. That's not that. Okay. Let's go to this. Being intimate on the first date creates a higher chance of the relationship not working out.
I would say that's true.
It is true. Okay.
I would say that's my perspective. To each their own. Not telling people what they should do in that regard, but I don't think that it's not sex itself that is the issue. I think that you can create attachments to someone that you don't know very quickly. And so especially for women, if they want to feel safe, or maybe they might say, oh, it doesn't matter, it's just like a fun casual thing. If this doesn't work out, no big deal. I think a lot of times they may not be being honest with themselves, because we are wired, our brains and all of the different like neurotransmitters and the different things that are happening in our brain and our body. There's a physiological side of all of this as well. And so over attaching too soon, which women do through sex more so than men, can present problems. So if you have anxious attachment, for example, then having sex early on before you have exclusivity, or you know where it's going, or you feel really secure in the relationship, that can create more problems. And then you're showing up a little more anxious, and the guy's like, she's kind of anxious. This isn't very attractive.
Yeah.
Because again, the peace and the presence and the confidence and the joy that's the stuff that's going to be more attractive and magnetic.
Do you think that's kind of an issue in today's age? Maybe it's people having sex or sexual relations early on.
I think people are trying to fill the void of what they really want is the connection. So it's not even about the physical gratification, I think, most of the time. I think people don't have the self-awareness or haven't really gone deep within themselves to separate out the two. So it's not just about the physical pleasure. There's like that longing, that deeper longing for meaningful connection.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're just not going to get that by having casual sex. And I think, people, you can keep trying, but it's probably not going to get you where you want to go ultimately.
Okay. What's the allotted time? I mean, just whenever you feel ready or feel safe in the relationship? Or
I think it's going to be different for different people. Okay. And I've heard success stories all across the board. I've heard success stories from people who did have sex on the first date and they ended up getting married and being together for a long time. So I'm not saying, I think everyone has a little bit of a different journey. You just have to know yourself and your own heart well enough to know what's right for you and be able to communicate effectively with that other person and know that you're on the same page.
Yeah. Well, that is the old trope, right? He slept with me and then never called me back. And so I feel like that's Denver in a nutshell. Maybe it's just.
I'm like, maybe that's your life.
Yeah, no, my life. That's not my life, but that's,
Does that happen to you? Is this what's happening?
No, this is not what's she slept with me and never called me back. I don't think I've ever said that, but
we won't jinx it.
No. I think maybe it's just a generational thing too. I don't know, but.
I think that behavior, I personally believe that there is a more spiritual thing that happens, like a sacredness, that's something where you're connected on a deeper level through physical intimacy. And so if someone does not call you back after you've shared the most intimate part of yourself, it can be fracturing. It can be traumatizing if that happens over and over again, which it's our job to guard our hearts a little bit as well and make good decisions for ourselves and not relinquish ourselves to another person until they've shown that they can be trusted. So again, having sex too soon, opening yourself up to the possibility of being traumatized, if that's happening over and over again, you're going to stop liking men or you're going to stop liking women if this is your experience. But it's your job to guard yourself from, and you can put up sort of guardrails for yourself if that is an issue. So if you're like, oh, I had sex with this guy and now you probably wouldn't say that, but I'm saying to the ladies
I had
out there.
sex with a guy and never called me back. No, that's totally true though. I totally agree with you. I can't see a lot of guys being like, I just keep going on first dates. They keep having sex with me, and I never get called back. So
okay,
I think
but guys might not say that.
Yeah,
like, and again, that's where the awareness. Like, do you really sit with how you're feeling? What do you actually truly want?
Right.
Are you trying to fill a void with sex that it's not getting filled?
Right.
I mean, again, I think men and women are wired a little bit differently in this regard, but ultimately, it's not really going to be the thing that nourishes your soul at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's so many like women we talk to around here too, and like just don't really like guys too much. And then I'm also like, you can tell if a guy likes you if you kind of hold out for maybe a couple months, and they'll leave if they're just trying to be a player, or they'll stay and get to know you and really like you. So I think I don't know, that's the advice we've heard over and over again. Is maybe don't on the first night, You
just don't have enough data yet.
Yeah.
So I look at dating as like data-ing, like you're gathering data. And so you need time to be able to gather data to make good informed decisions about what's right for you.
For sure. Okay, I got another one for you. Okay. Attraction can grow.
Okay, so I think it can grow for women. I don't think it can grow for men.
Really? Okay. That's a hot take there. What's the thought process behind it or experience?
That men know immediately if they're attracted and want to have sex with a woman or not. Okay. Do you have anything to say about that? No.
Okay. Wait a second.
Case in point.
Depends how many beers he's had.
Help. Yeah, I guess piggybacking off of that, do you have any critiques for me on the Love is Blind?
Any critiques? I mean, I actually think it's pretty. The word noble is coming to mind. I don't know if that's like.
I don't know if anybody
like-
said that in the same sentence with my name.
No, that I think it seemed like to the audience that you were playing full out and you were willing to really be on the ride and give it a go. But I think, and I haven't spoken with you personally about this before, but like, did you know in that, because like I said, for men, I think it is instant if they know whether they're attracted or not attracted.
Yeah, no, I think she's, very beautiful person and definitely attraction there. And so I was trying to see if I could grow that into the potential. That wasn't the case for me. I would say that. I mean, like that wasn't the sole factor. I think it's being around that person and seeing if you can get along, if personalities match as well. And I don't think that was the case for me there.
So if we're kind of isolating this and we're saying like just that one data point, it was not the case for you. Not to say whether she's a beautiful person or not, like clearly she is, but it's about us. Again, it's that primal instinct. Yeah. So either you're attracted or you're not attracted. So I think a man, what do you think, Isaac? Have you ever had a situation where you've been like, nah, and then she kind of grows on you, or like, I like her, and then you go after it?
I would say I've had girls grow on me before. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's not just physically though. It's more,
I'm talking about strictly physical.
Oh, strictly physical? No.
Right.
I don't,
there we have it, my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So for women, I think women's attraction is so much more emotional. Like once we feel safe emotionally, we see how someone treats us, consistency over time, all of that good stuff, then our attraction can kind of change.
Wow.
We start to see someone differently because of how we engage emotionally and how safe we feel. Whereas with men, I think it's that primal hunter instinct where they're like, I am either going to like procreate or not with this person. So, yeah.
That's really interesting. I never thought about
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Hot take. That's good.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
And you know what? You see so much of it, so you are an expert in the field. So that's kind of cool. Like it's not just I think this, right?
Yeah. No, I have a lot of data. Okay. We have tons of data over the past 15 years of the company being around, and all of us doing it for many years.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Great. Well, let's get the fuck off that topic real quick. Here's another one. Women settle more. Is that true? Is that false?
I don't know if anyone's ever asked me that before. I think that what I will say is most of the people that I've talked to, most of the women I've talked to, when I ask them if they feel like they settled in some regard, they say yes. Mm-hmm. So there is some area where they feel like they've settled, whether it's maybe the sex isn't as good as it was with a former lover or something. That's
a dagger to hear. Imagine hearing that.
Well, you don't hear it. That's the thing. Right? You don't hear it, but behind closed doors. And, or maybe he's not as ambitious, or maybe he doesn't make as much money, or maybe like there's always something. There's going to be some area. I wish he was a little bit more like this, or I wish that he cared more about this. And I think settling has there's like this negative connotation with settling in general. I kind of look at it as there is no perfect person. So everyone's like, oh, well, you don't want to settle. You don't want to settle. You're on the group chat with your friends. Babe, don't settle. Oh my gosh, you're so much better. You deserve better. Okay, well, that might not actually be good advice. So I actually tell people to kind of stay off the group chat sometimes when you're dating, because your friends aren't the people they love you and they want the best for you, but they may not be giving you
they're all single
the best advice. and that could also be. So
yeah. I like that. That was actually my next question is like, is there a healthy amount of settling? So, I feel like you're never going to find a perfect person, have a perfect relationship. So like, I feel like there needs to be a little bit of settling.
Yeah. Well, we live in a pretty narcissistic culture now where people do have this expectation that they're going to find perfection in another human being, and no one is perfect.
The grass is greener.
And also the desk is always greener,
Yeah, and it seems like there's so many options today that it's easy to not settle or tell yourself you're not settling and go try the next thing.
Yep.
Which I guess leads me into another question. What do you think of the effects social media and dating apps have had on modern dating?
Terrible. It's all.
Yeah.
I think it's rough. I think it's rough. I think we're a very dopamine driven culture. And so we expect to feel things instantly. And when something doesn't feel good to us, we move on to the next thing. And that is not how relationships are built. So
Yeah.
it's an issue. And also it's this perceived idea of there always being the next best thing. It's the paradox of choice, and it doesn't actually help. So if you look at people in a smaller town where they have a smaller subset of people who could be a potential mate for them, they will choose a lot faster. But if you open, it's like if you're getting ice cream and there's, 100 flavors and you're like, I want to try that one and I want to try that one and I try that one.
Shit, I'm trying to go to Baskin Robbins,
31 flavors, exactly.
I get all 31.
Exactly, right. And then you're like, well, I want to taste all the flavors. Why wouldn't I taste all the flavors? Ice cream's delicious. Until you can't taste the ice cream anymore and you're like sick of ice cream in general. And then you're like, I hate all of this.
Yeah.
And now I'm just fat. From eating too much ice cream. No,
Damn, that's a good analogy. That's
I'm
really good.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, well, we're done with the segment, I guess. Well, okay, here's one. I didn't word it though, but like, who, and probably, men or women, who falls faster?
Oh, that's a good question. It's a little different. So, like I said, I think men know immediately if they're interested. I see men fall in love very fast, where they're like, for whatever reason, there's something about that woman, the level of attraction, they're like, I want that woman. And they will fall very fast, sometimes a lot faster than women. Women need the emotional safety and they want to see how you're going to show up. I think women tend to project fantasies onto another person more quickly. And so they might have the perception of falling in love, but it's actually a lot of times it's like a reflection of their own projection onto that other human being.
Okay.
Versus actually knowing that person.
Yeah, a lot of guys being real heartbroken after like one date, I'm sure.
I mean, when somebody, the cool thing that I see is if I have a male client who really likes a woman that we set him up with, and she's really kind of like a little on the fence, or she's not that into it. A lot of times we're like, be persistent, honestly, like go shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Because help us help you. Come to us for advice on how to do that, because you don't want to come off as a creeper, because that happens sometimes too.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a stalker or a creeper, but there are ways that you can still kind of woo a woman even if she's said, I'm not really that interested, but you are locked in and you really want to give it a chance. There are ways.
Yeah, and that's like probably see a future too, like this guy's going to be there as well, unless they flip the script, right? But like in the beginning part of it, if you are persistent, I could see that being endearing as well.
Persistence pays, but don't be creepy.
But don't be creepy. See, I didn't know that last part.
You should learn it.
Oh shit! I'm not a creeper. Just jokes. How important is matching attractiveness when matchmaking?
Okay, so the question is like how, like if someone's a 10, should they be dating a 10?
Yes.
Or if someone's a 5, should they be dating a 5? That kind of a thing?
Yeah.
I think he's asking, is love blind? No. In a way.
Is love blind?
No. Yeah. No, I mean, but yeah, in all seriousness, I mean, like you can't, match. Maybe if they're.
Well, are you asking, would you ever do your clients dirty?
No, not well. No, but I'm like, wouldn't you try to match a 10 with a 10? But I guess if you match a 10 with a 5 that has social status, and maybe, some people find that attractive as well, right?
I would say the physical aspect, it goes back to what people value. So that's well said. It's like if someone's social status or whatever. I mean, I have a client who, is like, let's say he's a multi-billionaire, but he's 5'8". Yeah. Well, when he stands on his money, he's a lot taller.
I like that. Yeah, how important is height? I mean, I'm sure that's the baseline 6 foot. It has to be, right, for everyone.
Most women will say, I just want to feel smaller. And again, that goes back to the primal thing. They want to feel safe. We want to feel secure, protected, which is very natural and normal. But when a woman who's 5'1" says, I won't date anyone who's shorter than 6 feet tall, like, babe, just let the tall girlies have the tall guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear it a lot. I hear it a lot. I would say most women value height. Yep.
Okay. So guys, if you're ugly right now, you can get attractive if you make a lot of money and improve your social status. It's that easy.
But there are also ways to cue that protectiveness or that ability, the ability to provide. They say like future resource provision is one of the things that women look for the most. So a man doesn't have to have money right now, but if he's ambitious and a woman believes in him, that's really all you need. So there are certain ways that you can cue those things or to make a woman feel safe. They're small, tiny, easy things that you can do. So it's not just about money.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could see that. That line of the standing on your money is so good.
That's good.
That's so good. I mean, are there guys that come on and they're just not ready to date, or they're immature and it's going to end badly for them?
So sometimes people come to us with a certain idea in their mind about what they think they're ready for. And through their actions, we can tell pretty quickly if that was true or not true. And so sometimes people come to us and say, I really want marriage and I want kids, but their behavior tells us something different. It tells us a different story.
They're at the club every night.
I mean, you can't be out at the club every night. No, I can't say I have any clients that are like, I don't know. I've heard some stories about that too, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, success stories though, there's a lot of them.
Yeah. Like I said, we have 100% success rate as far as introducing people to the types of people that they want to meet. And from there, we can't really control what they do. But if people listen and they're open to coaching, I've had many people get engaged. I've had marriages. I've held like a 3-week-old baby, that I helped bring two people together. And as a result, there's this little human googly-eyed thing staring at me. And I'm like, I helped with this.
So it is fulfilling though, like you're actually doing good stuff. And some people work a corporate job and they hate their life. So at least you're doing something that's...
I absolutely love it. Yeah. We're all so passionate about what we do. And I feel very grateful and blessed. And I get a really interesting sneak peek into, people's lives that no one gets to know the things that I know. I get the most intimate details about people's lives. Sometimes they're public figures, sometimes they're not. But it's a really unique, intimate look into their lives. And I hold that with high regard, for what I do. And I take it as a big privilege.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations.
I have a question.
Okay.
So you're professional at vetting potential partners. I'm curious for viewers or people going on these first dates. What kind of topics or questions should they be asking to properly vet these people?
Yeah, that's a good one too. So one of the biggest shifts in modern dating versus how it kind of used to be was people used to be dating for marriage. That's why you dated. Now dating can be entertainment. You're lonely, you're bored, you're looking for companionship, but you're not necessarily dating for marriage or a certain level of commitment. So now you have to try to assess what level of commitment someone is actually at. Are you on the same page? That's first and foremost. So I think having those types of conversations and not shying away from them and allowing ourselves to be a little bit more direct. I think men appreciate directness from women, as long as it's not coming across as an attack or entitlement. But I think men do appreciate directness, and I think women appreciate honesty. So if a woman says, "Hey, I'm curious if you're looking for the same thing I'm looking for," if a man's like, "Actually, I'm not really looking for marriage. I'm just kind of looking right now. I'm keeping my options open or whatever. But I really like you, and I'd still like to spend time with you." Or, "Hey, even if they just were looking for a hookup and they're just looking for some companionship." You're much more likely to have a positive experience with that person by being honest and forthcoming about what it is that you're looking for. So I would say having those conversations early on, like when people tell me that they were married or they were in a relationship for a lengthy amount of time, and then they found out that the other person didn't want to have kids. It's like, well, didn't you talk about that before you got into the relationship or before you got married? And it amazes me that some of these conversations people don't have up front. So I think it's important to be intentional. I think the people who are serious find that pretty attractive. So if a man says, I'm not looking to date, I'm looking for a wife, oof, a woman is going to be like,
Whoa.
yes, please, and thank
That's
you.
Isaac's new line.
I'm not looking
Let
for
me
something.
write that down.
I'm not looking for something casual. I'm looking for a wife. I would say, I've heard a man say, I'm not looking to insert expletive. I'm looking for a wife, and that's hot AF.
Yeah. Do you have clients come in that are like, I'm just looking to have fun and I don't want anything serious?
So again, I think people think that they want something serious. So sometimes they'll come and they're like, hey, I'm freshly out of a divorce. I'm trying to get back out there. I don't really know how to get back out there. Can you help me? And ideally, I do want to find that person. I do want to get married again. Not everyone we work with is trying to get married per se. They're not looking for, maybe they are looking for their forever person, but they're really looking for us to go on the journey with them and kind of hold their hand as they get back out there into the dating world. And so it kind of depends on the person.
Okay.
Okay, kind of wrapping up. Maybe just like something guys can do that, they don't have to go through and get therapy or, talk to a dating coach that could help them out. It's something simple.
Yeah.
Maybe it's appearance, maybe it's, other than trying to act confident. Is there something a guy could do to go into a date that's going to make him better at dating?
Besides getting a teeth cleaning.
Yeah. Other than teeth cleaning. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Okay, something better, something a guy can go. I think women appreciate someone being real.
Okay.
I think being real, forthcoming about what you're looking for. I think being transparent about how you're feeling. Like if you're on a date and I don't think a guy should be like, I'm so nervous right now. Yeah. But if you're like, you're so beautiful, I feel a little nervous right now. Just being real with people can be very attractive. And the more real you are and vulnerable you are, the more you give the other person permission to do the same. So I think talking about what your intentions are, like we talked about leading, being a good leader, you can be kind of like just an average dude, but really have good leadership. So that's setting up the date. That's saying, there's a whole list of the little things. So women really appreciate the little things. So that's, if she's walking through a door, you make sure that the door is open. You make sure she walks through first. You put the hand on the small of her back and you guide her in. You make sure that when you're walking down the street, you move to the outside of the street. Not everyone knows to do that or thinks to do that, or maybe the woman doesn't even know. Maybe the woman doesn't even know. And like, she's like, why are you doing that? And then you're like, oh, just because I want to be more protective. I just want to make sure that you're safe. It's safer on that side for you. A woman's like, oh, I really appreciate that. So thoughtfulness. If you call ahead and make a reservation and you ask for the table where, it's going to be a little bit more romantic and you aren't necessarily sitting face to face like an interview style. You're sitting next to each other where you can kind of like lean in and you can have light touches. Things
I got
like
the table by the bathroom, babe. That's what.
Yeah, maybe not that one, Joe. Maybe not that one.
Yeah, okay.
But there are a lot of little things. Women really appreciate the little things. Sending flowers I think flowers are underrated. It's such an easy, simple thing. Yeah. One of the things that I tell people, my male clients, to do a lot is figure out a way to get them thinking about you regularly. So you send flowers, like my guy might be like, they're going to die. Like why spend the money on them? Like, I don't really get it. That's a good guy impression.
It's so true. It's so true.
But I hear that, like, why send flowers? Yeah. I'm like, because every time she looks at them for the next week, she's going to have a positive association with you. Mm-hmm. So do it as a strategic move. It doesn't have to be because you understand it. Cause yeah, you're a dude. Like you're like, I don't care about having flowers in my house. But a woman's going to think of you. So if you can have something that sort of bridges, that has this like a tangible thing in her life, like little gifts, checking to make sure she got home safely, just little things women really appreciate.
We lost the bare minimum, man. I feel like I haven't done any.
We've lost the bare minimum.
I'm just kidding.
No, in a lot of ways, you're right.
Yeah.
So these things should be kind of common knowledge. And sometimes people are like, isn't that common knowledge? But you would be amazed at how little people are doing that. And like I said, how absolutely desperate women are for a man who just will say, hey, I made us a reservation at this place, or hey, do you have a favorite place? Okay, I'm going to make a reservation for us on Tuesday. I'll pick you up, or, oh, we're meeting there. This is where you're going to park, or you take care of the valet, or just little things. It's really, pretty simple.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, hey, I think we're kind of the end. Oh, we always ask all of our guests this. And it doesn't really apply to you because you're coaching us, but if you want to answer, you can. Also,
Okay.
What I noticed when doing some research on you, you sing as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where can people find the singer? Because I listened to a little
Aw.
bit and it was good.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So, fun fact, I was a #1 charting artist. I had #1 songs in Europe. I released music through Universal, Sony, Warner. It was a little more like aggressive back in the day
Yeah.
when I was releasing music, but I did just start releasing music again. You can find me on Instagram, London, LONDYN music. I have stuff under Rachel June. June's my middle name. So there's actually a song called Dating Other People. I don't know if that's one that you listen to,
I went through your just on Instagram. You have your whole music thing, so I went through a bunch of your songs. And stuff, and
nice.
so, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It was good.
Thank you.
It was nice to the ears, I will say.
Thank you.
He honestly was. It was great. It was
But
great.
I actually I feel like I have a really unique vantage point from my own experiences, but also everything I see from my clients. So like the song Dating Other People, it's kind of a little snapshot of what modern dating is like today, and this dance between wanting to open your heart and not get hurt again and not let past hurts inform your future or your present. So
yeah, no, beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
And the question that we always ask, and maybe you could talk a little bit about yourself real quick, but why are you a catch? That's our last question we ask everybody. Why
am I a catch?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that for the most part, I walk the talk. So I'm a very genuine person. I mean, are we talking like personally? Or are we talking professionally?
Professionally too. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't really, because usually we're interviewing people that are trying to get their name out there too, and if anybody wanted to reach out to them. But I just thought it would be kind of fun maybe to learn a little bit about you. Like, why are you a catch?
Yeah.
If you want to answer, and we could
Sure.
cut this
I'm
out.
like. Well, I think I'm pretty dynamic. So the things that I value, I think I also bring. I value depth. I value playfulness. I value honesty, integrity, someone who has really good character. And those are things that I think that these are qualities that I embody as well. Personal growth, orientation, that kind of stuff. So these are the things that I value. And so these are the things that I like to bring to the table. And that's what makes me a catch.
Yeah. And that's why you should grab her for a matchmaker. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Rachel, thank you so much.
My
And that was
pleasure.
very insightful. Thank you. Hopefully it helps some of the the people.
It
out
helped
there.
me, so
Yeah.
thank you very
Did it?
much.
I know,
I always
Hopefully it
learned
helps
so
some
much.
others.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
always learned so
yeah,
much
that
from
was
you.
really
I'm
good.
so curious.
honestly.
Do you have any particular takeaways? Like any specific ones?
I mean, the big one, which I do feel like I'm doing better at, just the intentionality from the first date. I feel like I don't know, dating in college or younger, it was always like I would just kind of want to have fun. Like I couldn't fully grasp the like long-term concept, looking for marriage. So it was always just like, oh, do I like hanging out with this person? Are they fun? Kept it pretty surface level, and now I'm trying to be fully intentional and just being upfront with what I'm looking for. And
I love that.
yeah,
You got to put it out there.
Mhm.
But you're not wrong. I think it is overlooked to have fun. Like at the end of the day, you are sitting across from someone on a date that you want to be able to laugh with, you want to be able to have fun with. And so that's probably the most important thing. So the fact that you're doing that, if you can combine the fun with the intentionality, crush. You're going to crush.
Yeah. All right, I'm on it.
You're on it.
You better start getting funny real fast.
He has to get funny, is that what you said?
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen him on dates. He's just kind of
Okay.
He looks at him from across.
He
the
did
way.
actually show up to one of my dates one time.
Did he film it? Is there evidence?
And there was no talking. It was a lot of looking.
Yeah,
at
we
each
were
other.
just looking at the food and hey.
I know this is really valuable. We had a client, real quick. We had a client who, paid us a lot of money to hire us and work with us. And he kept getting consistent feedback, which was that he didn't smile a lot.
Yeah.
And he said that feedback changed his entire life and that it was worth the price of it just to get the feedback because he had no idea he wasn't smiling enough and how he was coming across as a result. Now he smiles a lot and it's like it changes his whole life.
That's perfect for Isaac. This guy has no expression in his face ever.
I feel like
Just kidding. I'm too smiley. I'm on a date, and it's silly time for me. It's not great because I don't talk about anything serious. Isaac probably talks
It's
about
a balance.
more serious
It's
stuff,
a balance. You have play. You have a little depth.
Mm-hmm.
You want to compliment the other person, make them feel good, make them feel special, let them talk. They're gonna if you ask good questions, you don't even have to be like that funny or that charismatic. But if you come armed with good questions, people will really appreciate that and they'll like you more as a result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I took away too is just like that bare minimum, but like sometimes it's hard when you're in your own world to even think about, something else, and just doing the small things, it kind of gets put to the wayside, and then you're a bad boyfriend. So I like, especially these past 4 months, I've just been like probably the worst boyfriend in the whole entire world, but we're good.
We're gonna send some flowers. We're gonna think of some thoughtful gifts. We're maybe gonna write a love note and stick it on her car randomly. I don't know.
At least you're self-aware.
I am very self-aware. Yeah.
That is where it begins. So it's good.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, anyway, on that note, thank you so much. Rachel.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. I had so much fun. Very insightful,
Me too.
like I said.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you guys.